The CCP began one of its first rounds of this in the late 1940s, just months after then Communist leader Mao Zedong took power. The Communist Party launched a so-called land reform campaign. Mao mobilized the nation's poorest peasants, ordering them to violently seize the land controlled by landlords. Many landlords were beaten to death during these communist struggle sessions. To justify the killing, the CCP first had to make sure Chinese society held widespread hatred toward landlords. If there was no pre-existing hatred, the CCP would create it.
The CCP taught us back then that the landlords were cruelly exploiting the peasants, and that the peasants and the landlords were in an antagonistic relationship.
Tan Song is the author of The Bloody Red Land, a collection of interviews about the CCP's land reform campaign. The former professor was expelled from his university in China for conducting research on the atrocities that happened during the campaign. He interviewed over 100 Chinese people who personally experienced the movement.
When we talked with the peasants, we found out that the real situation was nothing like the CCP's account. The peasants were more willing to work for the landlords rather than in the CCP's people's communes. And all the peasants I contacted held this opinion.
Higher estimates say 5 million landlords were killed during land reform across China. The CCP sent several million others to labor camps, where many perished. The landlords also suffered painful deaths.
During the land reform in Hunan province, there was a village where 2 landlords were nailed to death with iron nails. Some landlords were forced to dig their own graves and were buried alive.
So
Wow. That's crazy. It wouldn't take much for them to do that in America. If somebody got on TV and told us to go after BlackRock and all these CEOs that have been raping us dry, oh yeah.